Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a Maree.
Are you ready? Debate fans, are you ready? For the handful in attendance and the thousands watching across the world, brought to you tonight by Jeranism, the #1 YouTube channel in all of existence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Make sure your argument is tight. Wait, what? You must got proof if you so right. Wait, what? Don't get dismissed on false claims because you gotta bring the truths in the back. It don't matter if we talking about racism, sexism, scientism, paganism, socialism, communism. Talk about capitalism, atheism, globalism. What about creationism? It don't matter what the ism. Live on debateism.
Welcome all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you might be, I hope that you're ready for a wonderful barn burner tonight. A big debate evening planned for you. We've got Donald J. Trump, the 45th and most likely probably the 47th President of the United States. 4 plus 5 is 9. 7 plus 4 is 11 for anyone keeping score. He'll be the 9/11 president. Well, tonight we asked the question, Donald John Trump, is he a hero, the great white hope, the savior of the USA and the world, or is he another political pawn or a false prophet? Let me get you the, there we go. Sorry about that. That's going to be off. There we go. So we've got Beth Maree. She's going to be arguing in favor of Donald Trump, going against Roger Kelley, who will be taking the alternative. Let's bring them on the show, and we will get going quickly. Welcome to the show. They are both first-timers here, so welcome to the show. First, Beth, you can tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and all that fun stuff.
Hi, this is Beth Maree. I live in Malibu. I'm a wife, mother of 6 daughters and 6 granddaughters so far. And I kind of got called into this whole thing in 2015. Basically, God just told me to keep my eye on Trump and then have his back. And I did a lot of research, and it's brought me through this whole movement to where I am now, just basically standing up for my children's children, because it's a big battle, and I'm all in.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. We're happy to have you. Did you say 6 daughters and 6 granddaughters?
6 daughters and 6 granddaughters so far. And the book came out of my research,
Okay, so that's a book you wrote, right? And people can catch that at your thebethmaree.
BethMaree.com or on Amazon, either way.
Okay, we're going to put her up on the screen. And we also got, for the first time, Roger Kelley. Roger, welcome to the show. Tell everybody about you.
How you doing? From Iowa. I say I got involved about the same time, possibly a little bit beforehand. Got involved with the politics because it was a chairman of the local union where I'm at, was the chairman of the local union of where I live at, and so it seemed very important, and so we're here tonight to see if he was really speaking the truth.
All right. Awesome. Well, glad you guys are both here. If anybody is interested in debating, the best way to do that is probably go to t.me/debatism and get in the Telegram group and start. That's what Beth did. Beth reached out, threw her name in the hat. Roger saw it, came in and said, hey, I'll debate her. And it was just born that easily. Real quick, we'll take a look. If you go to jeranism.com/debatism, you can get a couple Q&As here. And then also down here is the format. So just to go over that real quick, each person will get a 2-minute takeover at any time they can use that. That's basically just going to mute the other person and give them 2 minutes of the floor. They can use that at any time throughout the whole debate. They can also ask for extra time twice. Then you get down here, we're in the welcome. We're going to go into the intro, which is going to be each person a 3-minute intro and then a 1-minute response from the other side. Then we'll go into questions, which will be 3 questions each, basically a minute to ask, a minute to answer. And if I need them to expand on it, I will. and then 4 claims, which will be each one will make a claim and then back it with evidence, and then the other person will have a minute to respond to that as well. We can do a little back and forth there if we need it, and that's basically it. Then we'll go to conclusions, which is a 2-minute each. We'll read your super chat, so if you want to support the show and you want to get your question answered, you can do that through Rockfin, through a tip, or you can do it through YouTube as a super chat. We're also live on Rumble and DLive, dlive.tv/Jeranism if you're interested over there. All right, let's go to the coin toss. I'll let ladies go first. Beth, you can choose either Bill Nye or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Tough choice, I know.
I don't like either one, but I'll go with Bill Nye.
All right, let's see. Is it Bill Nye? No.
You double NASA's budget.
You double NASA's budget. All right, so Roger, you can choose whether you want to go first or have her go first. It's up to you.
You can go first.
Okay.
Beth.
So Beth is going to go first. We're going to be doing 6 questions, 8 claims in 90 minutes. And we're going to start as soon as I set the clock, which we've got, intro. So you got 3 minutes here. When you're ready, go ahead and we will begin.
Oh, okay. Hi. I'm going right now? Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Basically, I'll just give you the nutshell that in 2015, I was called to have Trump's back. And so I didn't know what to do about that because I was like a Lib Dem hippie mom at that point. And so I just started researching, and everything I researched, I realized everything they said about him was a lie. Lie. So, and then as I researched, I found people all over the world that were praying for him because they knew he was the one anointed for this time to lead the charge to dismantle the Luciferian agenda. And I mean, people all over the world. There's one little guy that was in Italy, put a brick in the 80s into a church there for masses to be heard for this playboy that was going to bring people back to God in America. And so basically, it just that's where the book came out of. It's all people all over the world, basically, saying that he's the one that's going to lead this charge. And then I just was attracted to. It just felt right. So I just, carried. I was suspicious at first, but I've carried on. And basically, my book came out in 2020. It's basically been censored, like everything else. I'm off of most platforms. I book guests for David Nina Rodriguez. So I meet a lot of whistleblowers. I know a lot of people that are actual operatives that work with David, and everything they, what I get from them is legitimate. That I really do see that there's this. Again, I was there for the first post for Q in October 2017, and it really felt like I can still remember when it came out. I mean, it was like there's something divine about it. And I know that in 2020 we were told, the PSYOP was coming, which it did come, the QAnon PSYOP. Q is intel, and Anons are people like us that dig. And basically, I've seen so many, the Q proofs. There's so many things that, I don't have a problem with that at all. And yet again, it's led us to do our own research. And it's a movement. It's totally divine. I mean, I've met people of all ages, like old, young, gay, straight, black, white, whatever. And we're all resonating on this, taking our country back, on God, because we've got rid of God in the world. And we basically are rebelling against this agenda because we know it's not organic. So that's the main thing. So that's, what I'm all in about. And when I hear from people like Scott Bennett, Wano Savin, The Ghost, SG Anon, a lot, and several others. I mean, I know them all personally, and I know they're really committed. And so I see Trump as this, leading the charge. He's not a savior like a messiah. He's just being used like a modern day Jehu or Cyrus, to do what he's doing, and like a figurehead. And I see him. He's in the Earth Alliance with Putin. There's a whole other thing going on that's not on, that he's not talking about. The regular public, he's just doing his things and bringing people in. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I believe he's restored our republic. He did a capitulation tour, worldwide capitulation tour, and so it's all good. It's all good news.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And then you get 1 minute to reply to that, Roger. When you're ready, go ahead.
Just to kind of add on to that, so you guys understand my position. I wouldn't say I was there for the first Q drop. That was not something that caught my eye right away. I would say it was probably 6 months after the first Q drop. So I'm not even sure when the first one happened, but like sometime after the first one dropped, I followed it. So most of the people that you spoke of or speak of, I can at least recall the information. But it seems that if you continue to dig through just what was presented to the Anons, that you continue to find more truths that you need to continue to do your own research and continue to find more information.
Okay, thank you much. And now you got your intro to go. You got 3 minutes. Whenever you want to start, we will start the clock.
I'll just kind of continue off from that.
Sounds good.
So I would say I was pretty pro-Trump come the election in 2020. The first time I ever voted, probably the last time that I'll ever vote, at least on a outside of my local area voting. But anyways, it seems that they did quite a good job of portraying somebody to everybody, to America, that is going to come in here, take down this establishment. I think we all know that the government's quite corrupt and does not have the best interest of the citizens that reside within the United States. What I would have to add to it is I would tell people, keep on researching. Don't just accept what we continue to get fed on it in our news and our social media platforms, because it seems that they have quite a good control over that, and they also do a very good job of installing psychological operations to deceive people. So I know I still have more time, but that's kind of all that was the one thing I forgot about.
No problem. Sounds good. We're ready to go. It's good with me. All right, so let's get started with the questions. Basically, you each get 3 questions, but we'll just do...
Did she get a minute to respond to me?
Oh, sorry, you're right. I don't even know my own agenda here. You get 1 minute to respond to him. Yes,
I think we're really basically on the same page. We both want we the people to have our republic restored. So it's a matter of whether Donald Trump is really going to do it or whether he's just one of them. I mean, that's what I've noticed when I came into this. I mean, there were a lot of us that were all with Trump, and then a lot of people turned because they're looking at this dark light inversion theory, that he's just the light side of the dark side. But I feel like God is bigger than that and bigger than inversion. And, I don't know if you've seen the capitulation tour. Nick Avliar did a movie on goodlion.tv, The Greatest Show on Earth. And it showed when Trump went around in 2017 to every single country, the Pope, Netanyahu, Japan, it's a great little thing. And the sword dance with bin Salman, they gave him the sword. They basically capitulated to Trump. His name means world leader under the grace of God who will excel and triumph. And he saved bin Salman's life at Vegas. They were attempted to to kill him. And so he was like, oh, my brother, whatever. And then Trump went around with the white mail, which is all like blackmail, like the bad stuff they did. And all these countries capitulated. And that was in 2017. And then, of course, there's this thing about the Federal Reserve. I don't know if I'm running out of time.
Yeah, we're out of time.
Okay.
Okay, so Beth, you get to ask your first question, and you have a minute to do so. But go ahead and ask whatever you want of Roger.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I feel like we're more on the same team. I guess, how did you lose your faith in Trump?
Okay, go ahead.
I lost my faith in Trump when, one, he was continuing to talk about the event that took place in 2020 that kind of swept across the entire world, and also one of the Q drops. To me, if you're honest and you're for the people, you're going to. It doesn't matter what other people are going to say about you. You're going to speak the truth, and you're going to stay to the truth, because, it shouldn't matter what. Because I've heard the whole, he can't. He has to take this certain position, otherwise the media is going to be able to make these certain accusations about him. And for me and how I see things, it seems like it is best to say the truth regarding what anybody has to say about you.
Okay, excellent. And you get to ask her a question now. Go ahead.
So I've got, if he is here for the people, why did this event of January 6th take place, and why would he lead the people to the place when he was having his he had his conference or talk or whatever prior to going to the Capitol? Why would he then proceed to take everybody over there and create this event?
Well, again, we are taking down a 6,000-year death cult. You know what I mean? So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I think there's firewall that, we don't know a lot of things now that we will know, as things unfold. But even that event, I think a lot of that was a show of strength, how many millions of us, people showed up. And he did tell, they edited everything about him saying go peacefully. And again, the J6 was totally set up by the feds, by the other side, the black hats. So it's not like Trump did that. And then also talking about the, I guess we have to be careful what we say, the warp speed and all that. If he had gone totally against the grain, when so many people are so already brainwashed, that would have freaked him out. Just like even now, I have a problem with the Zionism. Do you know what I mean? The Zionism is just he's way too Zionist for me, but I know he's called out Bibi. He called out Israel and ISIS in a tweet in 2015. And Israel saved for last Q. I feel like we're seeing that happen right now. And it's huge. So, there's a lot of things that, we don't see now that we will understand.
Okay. Beth, you go ahead and ask your question now. Number 2. Go ahead, Beth. You get your second question now.
Is that me getting a question?
Yep. Your second one. Go ahead.
I haven't thought about questions. I guess you were talking about.
Wait, did you send me the list of questions or no? Hold on.
I don't really have a question. Do I need a list of questions?
No, I thought you sent me a list. I thought you sent me the list of.
Okay, well, I guess we were talking about 2020.
Okay.
That's going to come out. That was obviously stolen. That's going to come out. 2020 isn't over. The elections, we are captured. I agree with you about voting. It's all been cheating, but the thing is the public have to see that. That's what's going to come out now. This has all been to show we couldn't tell them. We had to show them. That's why we've had to live all this through this for the last 4 years. People are waking up, even though sometimes it seems slow. They are waking up, and we need the numbers because when, like the military.
This is a question or no?
Oh, is that a question? I'm not very good at debating. But I guess Roger can just answer me. Maybe it's better like a conversation. Because I don't think it's about winning. Anyway,
no, it's just if you don't have one. I thought that you had a list of questions here. I'll see if you did.
I don't know. I'll just let you guys go. Tell me what to do next.
Okay. You had 3 questions. You said, why does the establishment hate Trump so much? Why is he such a threat? And then the second one was, why do so many people organically love and support Trump?
Oh, thanks.
Do you want to answer that one, Roger? Why do so many people organically love and support Trump?
It seems we all know here how corrupt the establishment, how the government. Obviously, we can go on and on about the government and their decisions for the last umpteen years. So how organically they support Trump? He says a lot of good things. Who doesn't want the evil out of our government? Who doesn't want our country for the people, helping us here. So that's kind of how I see how it's a psychological operation. We all want it. We're all going to connect to it. It doesn't matter what line you're on, which side, China, South Africa, wherever, Australia. I think a lot of things that he says, we all can connect to, and we all want that for everybody. So I think that's why we all can connect with his claims.
Okay, Roger, you get to ask your second. question.
So beyond a local level, do you think our votes matter? And if so, how would we be able to physically verify?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the whole system, it's totally captured. And in fact, I think the only way we can have a fair election is with the military at this point. And I really feel like the military is the only way. The military is going to have to come in, and they need us to be with them. That's why it's taken time for them to see everything fall apart under Biden, to see all these mass immigration, everything so we can actually stand with the military and take our country back worldwide, because we are captured. We can see that every day. All the justice, we have no justice. Everything is completely, out of our hands, and that's what we got to get back, and that's what we're coming towards.
Okay.
Do you think?
Why do they hate them so much? Why do the bad guys hate him so much? That was my other question.
Yeah, that's your third. We'll get to that in your third question. Oh yeah, that is your next one. So Beth asked. Go ahead, Beth. You said, why is he still alive if the Patriots are not in control? Go ahead, Roger. You want to answer that?
Why is he still alive if the Patriots are not in control?
Correct.
So I guess my answer to that is that he's still alive because he is a part of the establishment. He is because I think if somebody wants you dead, I think especially on that level and within that system, I think it'd be quite easy. It seems that we have quite a few questionable deaths that we could question regarding our celebrities or these people that they claim to be idols.
Okay,
Now,
and then go ahead. You can ask me.
Do I talk yet?
Can't one.
To me, the fact that he's still alive, it kind of shows that he's got a lot of grace and that he's meant to be doing this, because he would have been knocked off much earlier. I see what you're saying, that considering if you think he's part of the other system, but I don't think he is. I think he's the only one standing between us and the deep state.
Can I add either a 2-minute or a 1-minute in there?
Yeah, if you want. You want to do a minute if you want. Go ahead.
So you said that he's filled with grace. So it came to my head, so I asked about it. So I remember watching an interview with him, and Trump was asked if he had ever asked God for forgiveness. And I'm not sure if you caught his response or not, but it was like he beat around. He never answered that question. He gave an answer. I'm not saying he didn't give an answer, but it seems his view of God might be a little different than what some others are. Especially,
I saw that, and to me, it reminds me. It's like Jehu. Jehu was the foul-mouthed chariot driver who God chose, who went in and threw Jezebel out the window to the dogs. I can't judge somebody else's spiritual life. I have to just, I can only really walk in Christ myself and go from there. Yeah.
You get
I think God uses who he uses.
Okay, Roger, get your last question.
Okay. Number 3 is, why did Q or QAnon during their Q&As over the 4chan or whatever it was on, why did Q respond that the earth is not flat?
I have no idea. I love biblical cosmology. I love it, and it makes so much sense to me, and it's so cozy. And I have no idea, but I feel like that's something that'll come out. Maybe that's going to take a little more time. I don't know, but yeah, I have no idea about that. I mean, like I say, I don't treat Q as gospel. I'm just kind of going with the flow that's going, and I stay in prayer and meditation, and I just keep taking it one day at a time to be serving. And here I am. I mean, that's why I book guests for David Nina Rodriguez. He's one of the only truthers I know that, like, I trust him. He's never going to sell out. He's got a heart of gold, and he's in this for serving. Like you said, a lot of people are shills. So, and it's funny because I found there's someone else, this young man, Nick Fuentes. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But he has that same, I feel like he's anointed by God for this time. I feel like Trump is actually making a pathway for him to follow through, because I love his idea of America first and just living under Christ's principles. And yet he's the most banned person there is. You know, he's got one little channel, Cozy TV, that's it.
Okay, excellent, guys. That was your 3 questions. We're now able to go into claims. Beth, you're going to be going first. So you have 2 minutes. You should make a claim, back it with evidence, and then we'll have a minute for Roger to respond, and then we'll have up to 5 minutes back and forth until we kind of get somewhere settled. So when you're ready to start, you have 2 minutes, and I'll start the clock when you start.
Okay. My claim is that Trump is the commander-in-chief right now, and Biden is just like he's like Putin said. Putin wouldn't talk to him because he said, "You're the president of nothing," because he really is the president of a defunct corporation, bankrupt corporation. And Trump is the real commander-in-chief. I've heard that basically Trump, he will come back. He will come back as commander-in-chief before this 2024 election, which I don't think is going to happen anyway. And he will do that. Basically, he can't come in until it's a nuclear situation. He has the codes. Biden doesn't have the codes. So again, it's a thing where if we're attacked, we're going to have internal. I've heard 14 cities. I've heard a lot of different things happening. And when those things happen, the police might stand down, or the Biden government might stand down. And yet at that time, the white hat military, the good military, will step in with Trump. So that's how that's a claim that I get from basically all the operatives that I've been working with for the last 8 years. And what I've seen with my own eyes and researched, and what feels right to me. And I'm really excited, because I think what the other side of this is going to be incredible, because we'll be finally out from under this parasite. I mean, look, right now we're exposing a lot with Israel. The whole world is waking up. What that genocide there, I mean, every day, the first thing I do is record all those babies, because I feel like someone has to witness it, and I spread it as much as I can. And that there's not going to be any victim status anymore for this. And there's going to be a lot of other things coming out related to that. And it's going to be good, because I've heard there's even history books, new history books are already written to correct all our history, to come out to teach everyone, what's really, what's happened to us. Because it's been lies. Everything's been lies, in every war, all of it. So I'm just excited about going through this, getting to the other side, and living in peace on earth.
Excellent. And you get a minute to respond to that, Roger, when you're ready.
Like that, obviously that sounds wonderful. That'd be wonderful for the White Hats to be in control. Our military is helping us out. But I still go back to questioning, do the information that we're being provided on a daily basis, especially when it seems like every platform, every news, anything out here in this reality seems to be controlled by a select few. It is very hard to find and trust people or sources that we're able to get information from, verify that information. And I guess that's all I have to say that one.
Okay, guys can go back and forth if you want it all there.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying 100%. I haven't watched the mainstream news in like 5 years, because I can't stomach it, because it's like a satanic frequency. You can tell they're lying. And so basically I just I just keep doing research, like following the money, following the people on the ground. And so I can see what's really happening. And you're right. It's nothing at all like what we're told. And so it's frustrating, because I try to talk to people about what I've learned, and they don't want to know. They just close you off, because it's not in their belief system that's coming out of that box. But that's the point. There are some good truther channels, like SG Anon, Stephen Harvey. He showed up about a year ago. I mean, he's amazing. There's a lot of people that are able to give us, real information. And
I guess I would ask, how do we know the new people that continue to come in are authentic in what they are presenting us?
I think a lot of it too, myself. I mean, I've been meditating for like 42 years. I practice this knowledge. I want to just show you this book here yourself. It's so beautiful. It's just it's inner practice. It's for anyone, and the website is I4joy.com, and it's a way to go inside and know yourself, right? Like Socrates said, know thyself. So I guess basically what I'm saying, I have to use my own discernment on everything. I'm open-minded, and in fact, I've gotten to such a good point now that when I can feel my own cognitive dissonance happening, like if I don't want to look at something, I will look at it. I'll force myself. No, you have to look, because I want the truth only. It's kind of like what it said in the Bible about expose evil and have no part of it. That's my only interest, exposing evil. And that's, and a lot of that's through your own discernment with the information that you find, in that way.
But, so it almost seems like half this stuff's not organically coming to fruition, though, because you go back to the 80s and the 90s, people didn't talk about religion. People didn't talk about politics. Like these were, there were some, I wouldn't say taboo, but they were just topics that you didn't discuss because it was irrelevant to, and now it seems like that's all everyone's life is what are the politics? What are the religions? And, it just doesn't seem like a lot of this is being organically grown. It's being manipulated.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you know Dylan Lewis Monroe. He's the map maker for Deep State Mapping Project. He's so cool. It's dsmp.com. He just did a whole page on the protocols of the Elders of Zion, and he did a show with David Nina Rodriguez on that. You can see, and it just shows that we've fulfilled. This has been an agenda we've been in. They've had an agenda of white genocide, end of Christianity. We had the Tavistock Institute in the 60s, bringing in all the free love, the feminism, which is really communism. I mean, we've been this. I mean, even that thing, don't speak about politics and religion. That was even the cabal made that up. They even said they named the kids. They made that up for our kids because their children are offspring. Ours are animals. They came up with kids. I mean, there's so many, we've been so manipulated for the decades, and we're only now kind of coming out of it to realize, oh my God, everything has been an agenda. And that's why we're rebelling, because we know it's not organic. We know it's an agenda, and we're not going to take it anymore. And that's why we just have to be human beings. Look at the whole thing we just have to say, okay, there's male and female, period. I don't want to hear anything else. Let's just be simple of what's real.
Okay, time.
And all this stuff. Yeah.
Okay, Roger, you get to make a claim. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
So my first claim here, I've got Trump. Trump is a part of the establishment, and my supporting evidence to that is because he's been first he started back in the 80s, 90s, going across talk shows. Oh, are you going to run for president? Oh, I might, and then anyone can throw in the Simpsons correlations between him touching that ball, coming down the escalator, whatnot. And then simply most he did become he became the president of the United States of America.
Okay.
So
I agree with you. He totally, actually, he was groomed for this position. He went to military school. He's been a military spy since he's been 18. He's the one that in New York turned New York around in the 80s with the mob. And he's worked his way in through all these clubs. He's basically, he knows all their secrets. That's why he's able to do this. And he did this this was his service, his mission. He's on a mission, and he's been on that mission since he was young. And that's what I see. And am I done?
No, go ahead. Let her finish, and then we go back forward.
Okay, so and again, I still have faith. I'm still trusting that he's going to take down this Zionist thing, that he's going to expose all these things, even though right now he looks like the biggest Zionist on the planet. But again, he can't talk about all that right now. He'd lose all those Christian Zionists that are, all ready to kill children for Israel. It's insane what's going on now. But fortunately, look at the whole world. The whole world is waking up. Several countries now are saying this is enough. I think bin Salman just said no more weapons to go there. So we're going to end up exposing everyone who's causing all these wars. Okay. And Trump, trusting Trump's going to do that.
2 minutes to go back and forth, whatever you want.
That's it. It seems that the wars are being literally created by the establishment, and the reason I don't think anybody here supports any war. I don't see how anyone sits at home with their family, goes about their day, and they're sitting here thinking, oh, we need to go bomb this other place because, yeah. So it seems that seems like a lot of stuff in our system is ran by this establishment. And I would say that the reason that Trump does know all the secrets is because he has been a part of this entire establishment since it seems like what goes back to his uncle and the claims of his uncle and the Nikola Tesla and the energy. So it seems like Trump and his family has been within this establishment for quite some time.
Yeah, some people say he's a time traveler. Now, I don't know about that, but those books, Ingersoll Lockwood books about the last president and Baron Trump travels. I actually have a friend who bought the rights to that to make that film. But yeah, so there's a lot we don't know. I mean, there's that, what do they call that project? Looking Glass was something they used to look in and see, and it actually came to an end, I think, a few years ago because of what's happening. So I don't know. I just really, I still do have the faith that he's going to pull this off, and that he's going to expose this protocols of the elders of Zion is really important because it exposes this agenda. And all these wars have been caused for this reason, to make us like the other day, Bill Maher and Anthony Bourdain, all these people are talking about we're all going to be cappuccino caramel colored with 90-degree IQ so we can be the perfect, have peace and be a perfect slave race. I mean, it's insane. This is all part of an agenda that goes back to Babylon. This goes back to the fallen angels. The fallen angels, when they went with the human women, that's the same people we're fighting now, the good versus evil.
But wouldn't it come down to us individually instead of relying on others to make decisions?
Oh, no, definitely.
Because I think, and I know I'm quoting somebody or referencing to them. It seems like our technology, we don't need representatives anymore. We all can communicate wherever we want. Now, obviously, I don't think I can take that, verify. I'm not going to vote on a digital platform. I just think that it could be manipulated just because it's digital and not physical. But it seems like it's going to come down to each individual person and not relying on any one government or any one party or any one entity.
Okay,
I
Beth.
agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. We have to each stand up in our authentic divinity and do the service that's in front of us. You know what I mean? For whatever that is for each person. And yeah, that's we've got to do that, because that's one other thing. They've made us all soft and smushy and roll over and ignorant by manipulation as well. And it's time to take our lives back and just the thing is, if we each do the best for ourselves. I'm sober 12 years, so I'm trying to relate into that. When you get sober, you kind of look at, what is it? You clean house, trust God, help others. You can't really help anyone else till you take care of yourself. So that's kind of, I feel, with America. It's like America's totally drunk. The whole world is inebriated. We all have to get sober and just do the next right thing. And if we keep doing the next right thing, it'll all work out. I've also heard that this old internet is going to be taken down and a new one's ready to come up. The dirty child trafficking one, the one with all the pornography. I mean, all of that stuff, that was all invented by the same people from this, the Babylonian Talmudic.
Do you really think you can get rid of the dark web, though?
Yeah, get rid of the dark web and just have, just be like holy people, holy and just normal, like natural, normal human beings that are not perverted. This perversion wasn't normal to us. We were like basically led into this. Look at the whole point. Hugh Hefner came here was to bring pornography in. That was a CIA op. All these things have been operations. I think there's over 500 operations to degrade us. To look at our food, to degrade our food, to degrade our morals. The Talmud is the one that has like 1,800 genders. I mean, it doesn't stop. And abortion being that's supposed to be a right, in Judaism. I don't get that. To me, that's not a human right. I mean, it's human sacrifice.
Okay, go ahead. You can do your next, your second claim, Beth. Beth, we're ready for your second claim.
My claim. What was my second claim? Did you write it down? Did you read it?
I didn't. You were going to come up with those, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess my claim is we're very close to having this. We're very close to having a huge scare event. A scare event that is going to be. It's good that we all know about it. We can tell our friends because when it happens, it's not going to be a nuclear war. I mean, we basically. This right now is World War IV. World War II we lost. That's why we brought them all over here in Operation Paperclip. World War III we won with the what do you call it, the Soviet Union, that one. But now we're in World War IV right now. There's going to be a nuclear scare, and we don't panic. We don't have any fear because that's when Trump's going to step in because and then he said, like he said, he's going to settle the war in 24 hours. Basically, he can do that because he's already in the Earth Alliance with Putin, Xi, Modi, all these other people around the world that are waiting for him to, give the go sign. Cheyenne Mountain is locked up. There's a lot of good things happening. Then, once we go through this, it's going to be tough. We're going to have to fight for our country. I mean, we're going to have to help the military. And it doesn't mean we're going to go out shooting, but there might have to be the men that go to cordon off their neighborhoods, and make sure that their neighborhood's okay. Things like that. I mean, I don't know. I live in Malibu, on Malibu Road. If I even talk to my neighbors about this, they think I'm nuts and report me to as a domestic terrorist, probably. So, but I just pray and I trust and I know it's gonna work out and it's gonna be beautiful because we'll get to see tribunals, arrests, tribunals, executions, and then we'll go forward without this parasitic thing on our backs, and we're going to have such abundance. Also, they got back all the money that was stolen by the cabal all these years. They got $360 quadrillion back from under the Vatican. I saw it was an operation, 650 planes it took to do that. So we're going to get it. We're gold back currency back. We're going to have it's going to be amazing. We're going to be living in better than like we were in the 50s as far as financially, like a husband being able to support his family at home, buy a house, all these things. And yeah, I'm just excited about this time. It's going to be tough when we go through this, but if we stock up and we pray and we trust, and it's funny because I'm also Catholic, and the whole Catholic thing, not that church Catholic with the Luciferian infiltration of the Vatican, but the real authentic Catholicism of Christ. That the Book of Heaven. This is another thing which I love. This is Jesus talking to Luisa Picaretta in like 75 years ago. The Book of Heaven, and basically it talks about evil being removed and the kingdom of heaven and earth coming in, like that prayer Christ taught us, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's why we've been praying it for 2,000 years. It's coming in and the evil's being removed. And this aligns with every other real religion on the planet. So it's really exciting.
Roger, you get a minute? Go ahead.
I would say I'm going to try to respond to, so you brought up the wars, World War II, World War III. Well, it seems from some of the information, World War II, it seems like they were in control then. They still maintain their control after the war. You can look at Operation Paperclip, bringing Warner von Braun over here to create NASA. It seems we're getting one side of the story when there's always two sides of the story. Possibly people will say there's always three sides to the story. And it seems like one simple way to end a war is just simply by not having a war. So to sit here and to think that we're doing these things, it just doesn't. There's no reason for us to be involved. There's no reason to be killing anybody. I think we have far better ways of conducting ourselves than sitting here and sending missiles and shooting people. Yeah.
Okay. I 100% agree with you, 100%. And there was no war under Trump. And I like when they asked Trump at that debate, they said, what side are you on, Ukraine or Russia? He said, I'm on the stopping killing side. That's what I want. I mean, that's why this thing with Israel and Gaza has been horrendous, to just watch these children day after day.
I think that's why a lot of people can connect with Trump, because, like I said, to me, they go out here and they have their polls, and depending on how people respond, they write the narrative of what they need to do accordingly.
I still think God has a lot to do with this. I think he's gonna do like, you know, with David and Goliath. I think we're in that kind of a moment, a David and Goliath moment, an Esther moment, parting of the seas moment. We need grace of God. We all need to be praying and get on our knees and just humbly asking God to direct us. And that's what I love about this book of heaven. It's all about living in divine will, which living in divine will is really just living in each breath and living in each moment, surrendered, right? Surrendered to the one that's breathing you. And if we all do that, it'll all work out. You know, that it's a personal thing, but at the same time, I feel like this is the first time we've been able to all connect like this. I mean, we didn't have this years ago, and I didn't, until this happened, you know, I didn't have this connection to all this humanity around the world. I mean, thank God for the internet, really, because that's the way we've been able to do this, you know, having this conversation now. So that's what I think that's their biggest problem. Us awake. We're awake now. Look how fast we're showing the lies in Israel now. Years ago, we could never do that. But now we're like, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. We're showing, you know, the Hannibal, what do they call it? The Hannibal directive, where they do it against their own people, blame the others, the atrocity propaganda. All that, you know, if someone said the other day, if it wasn't for us truthers, they'd be building statues to the 22 beheaded babies already, which never happened, even though they're still repeating it on the fake news. So, I mean, it's amazing and the military could never have done this without us. You know, this whole operation needed us. That's what Q was about, to get millions of us around the world on the same page. And I know they try to say it's like that Russian operation 100 years ago or something, but it's not, because that was like just a thing. This is like, this is heartfelt. I
don't want to interrupt, but I might.
You want 2 minutes?
I would say bring in my second claim, because that correlates with that there.
Let's go to that. You see you're on claim number 2. Go ahead. You got 2 minutes.
Yep. Q is a psychological operation. My evidence to support that is Michael Flynn, just one thing here, Michael Flynn, and him being quoted. Let's see here. I got Rolling Stone says that it was created disinformation campaign to make everybody think there's a bunch of kooks out here. Then my second would be the Operation Trust from the GPU, State Political Doctorate of the Soviet Union. It literally hand in hand. The operation that came out told everybody we're in control. We're doing all these things to help everybody. And seems like it was the same bird claiming to be from a different wing.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I've looked at that. I don't know really where I am with Flynn. I don't know if Flynn is, I go back and forth. I'm not 100% on him. I write these little patriot books, and I couldn't publish the one about Flynn because I'm just, you know, I don't know. There's a lot he's got going on, even though, you know, he's very, a lot of people swear by him. But, and when he said that, the thing is, the point is, for Q, for me, wasn't about when they said, oh, it's a psyop. I don't really care what Mike Flynn says. I know what I found with the Q proofs. If you look up qproofs.com, I think it is, you can look at, there's thousands of Q proofs, these autists and bakers and these people that are really clever in their mind about it. Even now, like, they can show you how things are playing out to these dates now that actually match those things. Operation Trust was never that intricate. And it never had this heart to it. You know, there's a heart to this that is beyond any operation that they've ever done. I mean, look at NASA, like you say, NASA totally, that was Satanists and Luciferians that started that. Look at all the lies with NASA. That was because we didn't win World War II. We brought them over here. That's how they planned it. So,
do you think if they had that much control at that point to be able to create this NASA, that they could have had control prior to that?
Oh, they've had control since going back to, look at Zabity Levy, Rasputin. Look when they killed the Romanovs, the Bolsheviks. Look when they killed the French Revolution. These have been the same people that have done this. They're the ones that caused the Armenian genocide to get the Turks to do it. There's the same group.
So have we seen a civilization actually stand up and take down this evil?
No, that's us. This is it. This is it. This is the last chance, and we're going to do it. It's the time. We have to do it. And again, it goes back to the fallen angels with the human women, the Nephilim, the bloodline. Dustin Nemos calls it a seed war. I don't agree with everything he says, but he has a lot of good information. But it's all these people that have been starting all these wars. It's the same people. It goes through that whole thing of back with the Frankists and the communism, and then the feminism and the transgenderism, this whole thing, and we just have to expose it. And the thing is, we don't even have to do it like you can do it one at a time. We could even start by saying, okay, you cannot serve if you are a dual citizen. Like if you take dual oaths to different countries or different secret societies or Freemasons, you cannot serve we the people. And we could do it one by one. It doesn't matter. You can't, whether you want to say, oh, there's so many that are Jewish, this and that. That doesn't matter. Let's go one by one. Are you serving?
It's safe to take the financial gains out of being a public servant.
Exactly. Yeah. Term limits, no money, basic money, and no dual loyalties. Because right now we're captured. We've been really Israel's lapdog for the last long time.
You don't think Nancy Pelosi should get millions? I think Nancy Pelosi should get millions. All right.
I say it seems like the corporation is it controls all their codes, and their laws seem to run across the entire world, not just here in the United States, though.
I agree. It's global. That's why even globalist is considered anti-Semitic. If you say globalist, it's anti-Semitic, which is ridiculous.
It's funny how we have a lot of global things.
If you say Christ is king, that's anti-Semitic. If you say that's why we have to break this narrative. Michael,
I think there's many things. If we broke it down, we probably agree on the same things. It's this Trump and Q thing that seems to be, and it's weird because either you got to take the side of Trump, or you got to take the side of Democrats or the Republicans. Like that seems like a very faulty system to have, to be choosing a side, especially when it comes to our best interests.
Well, they created that to be the two sides. That's why Robert F. Kennedy just went independent. I would love to see Trump go independent, because if they both went independent, it would be like all that stuff could fall off, all that dead weight. Like Assange said, 98% are dirty. That would be great to see those parties disappear. We only need one party of real patriots, that want to do the right thing for their families.
Roger, you got your third claim coming up. Go ahead.
I'm on claim 3.
Yep.
Did she get claim 2 or claim 3?
Didn't she? Yeah, I think she just did, and then you responded, right? Or did you make the last claim?
I thought I was on claim 2 with the general plan, psychological operation trust.
Okay.
That conversation seemed to stem off from that.
Beth, do you have a third claim or no? Yeah, I said that she did it. Do you have a third claim or just the fourth one left? Beth.
Oh, me? All right. I'm just kind of into the conversation.
It's good.
I can bring up claim 3.
Let's go ahead. Go to claim 3, because I've been letting you guys kind of talk it out anyway.
So my claim is that Trump is not for the people, and my evidence to support that would be Operation Warp Speed.
Okay.
And we'll just call it the V whenever you want to talk. Just say the V.
Okay.
Go ahead. You guys can have a couple minutes to discuss that.
So that one bugged me quite a bit, especially with the evidence that you could go back to the beginning of when those started to now, and there's just a lot of questions behind it, and to sit here and we supposedly developed this stuff so fast, and I'm gonna say there's a lot of trying to watch what I say about
Thank you, appreciate that.
But it just seems that there's some deceit behind this, and to sit there and make this claim, I've saved, like he uses it to compel people to his side, I would say.
Okay, you guys have a couple minutes on that one, back and forth. Oh, you have a minute to respond to that one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All of that was horrible. And yet I feel like there's, when he says that he saved millions and all that, he's talking about much bigger things. I saw the operation when they took the radiological weapons out of Los Angeles. They had a nuke going to Seattle. That thing in Hawaii was a real missile. It wasn't an accident like they said. There's so many places where we're being saved. I know someone that at Mar-a-Lago that told me that Ivanka Trump had a gun to her head. I mean, a lot of these things, I mean, I can't sit here and confirm them, but I know there's a lot of variables in everything. And I know he's just a man. He's just a man that's taken on this mission. And again, we did have our own choice. I got my hydroxychloroquine. We never, did that what was recommended. And, it's like, just like I said, like even now, a lot of thing with the Zionism, even Trump repeated the other day something about all the beheaded babies, which was annoying because I know it didn't happen. But again, he's all in with all of them. So we just have to see how this plays out. And that's why Israel was saved for last, because
you can go back and forth now for a couple minutes. Go ahead.
But so my argument is, though, if you're standing on truth and you're convicted in the truth, then why even have the deceit out there? Why use that as a talking point? Why not? If that is something that needs to be addressed, then why not address it? Like I said at the beginning, it shouldn't matter what other people are going to say, the news is going to say, however it gets spun. The truth is a truth, and I think it's very important for everybody to understand how things work.
I agree with you on that. Again, there's art of war. I mean, I have no idea, how many things, so many balls are juggling at the same time. Also, there were so many people that were already into all that. They were going to do it regardless. And for him to come out and totally go reverse to all of that, it would be like him right now coming out and jumping on Palestine's side. Do you know what I mean? People would flip out. I think it was the same thing with that. But again, I feel like we're going to get clarity on this sooner than later because we're getting close to this World War III thing, playing out. And all the people that have come in, all the I've heard there's millions of people here that are going to be activated. And so I guess we're going to see what happens. I mean, I have hope that they said clean and swift. I believe that. I think it'll be clean and swift.
But as a place that's supposed to be for the people, it seems like nothing is done by the people, yet it's supposedly for the people. It just seems that, I guess my opinion is that a lot of people are too busy to have their own stuff. Like, we can't sit here every day keeping tabs on who's doing what and who's doing this, and to sit here and seems like people that we're putting our trust in seems to be the ones that are deceiving us the most, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel because we're captured, and yet I feel like the way out. There's going to be a way out.
I don't feel captured. I feel very free. Like I'd say for the last probably since 2014, I'd say I feel pretty free. Now I understand I live within this country and they have their, but I feel very free with what I'm able to do. I can go travel. I can go, like I don't sit here worry about a lot of things that other people worry about. It seems like there's a lot of things that are being created within our reality that don't need to be
there. No, I agree with you. And let me rephrase that. I don't feel captured myself. I'm at this political.
So it seems like the entire world is who is in capture, though, because it seems like it's the corporation, the establishment that is running everything.
Well, look, they wanted to change our DNA. That was their goal. They want to make a DNA where it cuts off our connection to God. I mean, these are Luciferians. Let's call them who they are. And they don't like us. They hate us, basically. And the system they created was, they wanted to look at the Georgia Guidestones. That was really cool how that was taken out. I'm sure that was the White Hats who took that out. But their 10 commandments were on there to live here with 500 million elites and get rid of 7 billion of us. That's who they are. They're not like us. The thing is, you and I, if we did something bad, we would repent and we'd probably spend the rest of our life trying to do the right thing. They don't have that in them. They just they'll go to the, like the pirates say, till the crook breaks the neck. That's why we know there's going to be blowback, because, you know, they're going to go in. They're not going to just give up. They're going to go all in. There'll be casualties, and then we'll build, you know, then we'll go to like Trump. I'm talking about the freedom cities. There's a lot of good on the other side of this, but we have to get through this illusion, break it down, wipe out all those, the people that shouldn't be leading us, ruling over us, get decent people in there that are patriots, that have moral values and are not beholden to anyone. And then and like you say, like even my local place where I live, oh my gosh, the things I've learned about my own city council. I mean, unbelievable. You know, it goes all the way top to bottom. So we have to clean it all out. I mean, we may all have to run for positions. Not that I'm looking to do that at my age as a grandmother, but you know, I'll do what I have to do that's the whole thing, is for my children and their children. I felt like God basically let me know that if I didn't stand up now, it would be my children that could have ended up as adrenochrome, you know, my children's children down the road. I mean, it was getting really gnarly. And that's what this is all about. Breaking that whole satanic, bloodthirsty paradigm out and sending them all to hell. Well, we live in heaven on earth.
Okay, Beth, let's go with your last claim if you got one.
Okay. Well, that's my claim, that the kingdom of heaven is incoming, evil's being removed, and we're going to have a great life, and we just have to hang in there, trust, be prepared, and get to know your neighbors if you can. It's not possible with everyone, and just don't panic, and stay in, you know, the holy word inside of you, the God inside of you, and be in surrender and trust, and enjoy your life. Because it's beautiful. Life is beautiful.
Roger, you want to go to your last claim? Give me 1 second, just to tell everybody. So we got Roger's last claim and then her response, and then we're going to go into conclusions. And if you have a question for either one of them, you can send a chat, super chat, or a tip on Rockfin. And we will be doing that right after this final claim from Roger. Go ahead.
Were you able to get that link in your Telegram?
Sure, I can get it. Yep.
I'd say it's like a 15-second, just a 12-second, 15-second clip. My fourth claim is that Trump is a pervert. My evidence is one, the video that Jaron will play for everybody.
Okay, got it.
But the way that he speaks regarding his daughter.
Okay, we're gonna put this
and
on.
I'm a father myself, and I have a daughter, and there's no way that I could ever say what he says about his daughter. This is just one interview from The View, and I know he's been on Howard Stern and other magazines regarding his daughter.
Okay, watch this.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so
and
weird.
it just seems that somebody that's a father of a daughter.
Oh, 1 second. It's almost done.
Terrible.
Yeah.
How
Well,
terrible.
you're known for saying
Is that
outrageous
terrible?
things, Mr. Trump.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps.
Okay, got it. Go ahead. You're back.
As a father, it's that those words should never come out of any other father's mouth. And then there's other things I think I'll leave it with that one.
Okay, you got a minute to respond to that if you want.
Okay. Yeah, no, obviously, I don't think that's great. The point is, David killed, you know, Bathsheba's husband. Moses killed a man. At this point, I need somebody that's going to bring this mission through, this 100% working for us. And yeah, I don't think, you know, that, I mean, I'm not saying it's wonderful, but I don't see it as wouldn't call him a pervert for saying that. It's almost more like he's just, you know, saying how beautiful his daughter is. I don't know. It's an odd thing to say, but
that's a weird way to describe your daughter as beautiful.
It's not, that is not, just like the grab the pussy thing, right? Oh my God, the grab the pussy. We never heard the end of grab the pussy. And I mean, every rock star has probably said that in their locker rooms or whatever else. And the point is right now that we're for all the chips, the Casino Royale, this is for freedom for us and for the whole world, because America is the last stand. And I go through everybody ever. Is there any perfect person? I mean, unless Jesus Christ is going to lead us out of this himself, which in a way he is, because that's like ultimate power. But yeah, I mean, if he's forgiven him for saying something, I'm not going to start worrying about it.
You can go back.
It seems like the best way for us to go forward would be trusting in ourselves and it seems like everybody's searching for this savior, searching for this person that's going to save us or help us, or it seems like the best thing to do is everybody at being accountable for themselves, not, oh, we need this person to save us, this person's going to do that. Just seems I don't rely on other people to make decisions for me in my life of what's good or bad. It seems that I'm responsible, and my choices is what's going to affect it. And to sit here and idolize somebody, obviously we have two different views of the person, but to idolize somebody as Trump, it just doesn't seem like that he's a very good person to idolize.
Well, let me make it clear. I don't idolize him. And back to what you're saying, I agree with you 100%. That's why I love this Hear Yourself. It's about knowledge of the self. It's about going inside of you. It's 4 techniques to go within: light, sound, word, and the living waters that Christ talked about, nectar. And you basically connect with God inside of you. So that's what I've been practicing for like 42 years since I found out. This is for anybody that wants it. It's so beautiful. It's like when you're thirsty, you drink water. When you're hungry, you eat food. This is like a spiritual practice that I go inside every day, and Beth is gone, and I'm just with God. And then when I come out, my cup runneth over. I feel really like that cup runneth over feeling, and then I carry on with my day. So I'm with you 100% on that. And I don't idolize any man. He's a servant to me. I don't feel like Trump is no different than me or you. He's a servant. That's how I see him. Now, I suppose, obviously, anything's possible. I could be totally wrong, and all these other people that think Trump is the Antichrist, like Dustin Demos and a bunch of others that used to be Trump supporters. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't feel like we'd be here now feeling it this way. I feel in my heart as well. I don't feel like I'd feel that, but I guess time will tell at this point. Time will tell. But
don't you think that and I don't think I brought it up, but I know there was at least one occasion where he was quoted sitting there saying that I am the chosen one. That doesn't seem like a very good way to conduct yourself.
Well, it is funny because it basically in my book, it says he was anointed for this time. I mean, he has been chosen for this time to do this. And whether he says it like as a laugh or whatever, I don't know. But the point is, somebody's got to do this. Somebody's got to stand up for this. And
I think all of us is who needs to stand up for it and stop and not worry about.
But the point is, how do we need a leader right now? We need somebody to do what he's doing. You and me in our what are you?
I think God, creator, or the source is a pretty good leader.
Like 100%. And I feel like God is using him. I don't think Trump is necessarily that holy and spiritual, but I feel like God is using him, like Jehu. Jehu was a foul-mouthed chariot driver. God used him to throw Jezebel out the window to the dogs. That's where I see Trump. I don't see him as, Jesus Christ. I see him as just like you and me. He's just a servant in this mission to help us get back to, like in each country, like Putin. I love Putin. What he's done in Russia. He's helped us a lot. And I feel the same thing, just to get back to the basic things like male, female, doing the next right thing, being a good person, reaching your aspirations, being able to work hard and not be limited because you couldn't get into this college because you were white, because white people are bad now. And all this stupid thing they're trying to white genocide all of us. This is a fact. They've been doing it for years. And it's like, I don't know. I like, it's funny. I have wrote another little book called Defending Maree because I'm Catholic and everybody seems to bash Maree. It's like, just leave her alone. I mean, I'm not asking another Christian to, love Maree. I love Maree. Why should that be a problem? I mean, the last thing we need are Christians to be fighting, like the Protestants and the Catholics. I mean, that's ridiculous. We all love Jesus. So the thing is, what we have to do is, I feel like we have to just live it. Like I think what you're saying, we have to live it. We have to live.
It seems like religion was almost created to divide us because we're all divided from it.
Well, yeah, it was in a lot of ways. Yeah, well, that's why. The thing is, that's why you got to go back to the source. It's like religion, real religion, pointed a way to go inside. All the real religions tell you, be still and know God, right? It's all about going in here. If you go in here, you will know your Creator. Then we had the infiltration, Luciferian infiltration, and they made all these things to control the people.
Okay, let's go to
So,
conclusions. You
that's
got 2 minutes each. Beth, you're going to go first. Just wrap it up for us. Maybe give us a summary, and that will be it. I'm ready to start when you are. Okay, go ahead.
Who's going? Roger?
No, it's you. It's your conclusion. 2 minutes.
Okay, summary. Well, I just think I wanted to share this little book I wrote too about Nick Fuentes, Think for Yourself series, Nick Fuentes, and I wrote that because he gets a really bad rap because they totally twist everything he says out of context. So I'd love you to check him out at cozy.tv/Nick. And I just think, basically, well, I'll just review what I already said, that Trump is chosen for this time to lead the charge to dismantle the Luciferian agenda, which is very real. That's what's caused all the problems, going back to Babylon, going back to the Tower of Babel, all this time actually the Luciferian agenda through the Freemasons and all that, they really think they can rush the throne room of God. I've had people tell me in that cult that they want a rematch with Michael. Lucifer wants a rematch with Michael. And I'm quite happy to see Lucifer get his ass kicked by Michael, because this is, we know who wins. I don't have any doubt who wins. But yet that's the arrogance, the ego of this Luciferian cult that has actually been a parasite over the whole world. And that's who the globalists are. It's not a mystery. All their clubs, the Club of 300, the people, all the, people have been telling this for years. All the truthers that have passed away or been murdered. We know who they are. It's time to expose them all so the whole world can see. And then that's it. They're gone. We live as human beings on this planet together. We can each have our own country. We can be America first, England first, Israel first, and then we can all play together. We don't have to have this new world order trying to tell us what to do with these horrible, they want us to eat insects and forget it. We just have to take it back and live like, children of God, because we are.
Okay.
And we're more powerful than them in any way. So I see my little ticker's going, so I'm going for my last second. And praise be to God. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to talk to you two.
Thanks, Beth. It's fun. Let's go with, and then we'll have some questions from the audience. I did see a couple. Roger, you got 2 minutes to shut us down, close us out. Just ready when you're.
I say, yeah, well, I'll just kind of review. It seems that Trump is a part of the establishment. If you continue to keep researching and keep digging into things, and I think you could even question some of the research that you do find. I think a lot of the information that we have is controlled and put out there to manipulate both sides of the party, or both sides of the stories, whatever story is being presented at the time. I just remind people to keep stay responsible for yourselves. Make sure that you do the research. Make sure that that when if you are putting your trust in something, do your research. Don't just take everybody's word for it. Go with how you're feeling within your heart there. Just keep questioning your reality. If you have not questioned your reality that's been presented to you yet, I hope you open your eyes and start questioning some of the things that are presented to us. And thank you for the platform, Jaron, and thank you, Beth. Enjoyed the conversation. I'm sure we could go on for a lot longer than this.
Well, thank you guys. Let's look at the super chat. And I did see some people in chat and some other places with a little complaint, or why do we even have debates? What's the point of debates? So the point is that not everybody's in the same place as far as their research, right? So Beth has seen things that I've never seen. Same thing with Roger. And I've seen things that they've never seen. So what you do in a debate, it's not meant for them to change each other's mind, which we all know is probably not going to happen in a 90-minute debate. But what it's for is for the viewer to get other people's perspective. You might have a position in this debate. You might feel strongly about one side or the other. The chances are that maybe sometimes you might hear something that you've never heard before, and it causes you to go look further so that you can get closer to the truth. So that's the point of debates. It's not to convince you right now. If you get convinced in a debate, that's kind of weird anyway, because you should have to follow up with that. You should have to look into it. All it's meant to do is give you a fresh perspective, which I'm all for. I want people to be honest. I want to hear people's honest opinion based on their honest research. And then if anything catches me, I'll go follow up. So that's what they're for. Let's see who we've got here to ask questions. Let's see. I know we got one at least. Let's go with. All right. Thank you very much, by the way, Justin Johnson, for the 5 memberships that you gifted everyone. Very kind of you. We got Matthew DeGorgio says the military is in control everywhere. That's not Joe Biden. The military is in control everywhere. That's not Joe Biden. Okay. I don't know if that's really a question. I guess it's more of a statement. Any of you comments on that?
Yeah, I think the military. If we weren't winning, we would never have seen all this that's come out. I mean, if it would have been just like if Hillary had won, we would have just gone into their 16-year plan, and it would have been over before we knew it. We would have already been, under it. So the fact that we're even having these conversations is showing we're winning.
It seems that the military is controlled by the same establishment that controls Trump and the media. And like I understand, the orders get sent down from, but the head honchos that are making the choices and decisions seem they're all controlled.
Okay, we've got
the military industrial complex for sure. But I've heard there's a upper echelon. There's a good military and a bad military. Guess we'll have to see.
We got a question for Beth from Tony Coriolis. He says, Space Force established 12/20/2019. Does Beth think that they will be used for Trump stepping into power pre-election 2024?
Yeah, I think Space Force, that was all about the inner space, right? It's not about outer space. It's the inner space, having all that information of the elections that were stolen and all those other things. So, yeah, it's all part of it.
We got another one from Flat Earth Eric, $5. Thank you very much, Eric. He says, for Beth, tell us anything, any one thing proving Trump is deep state that you will not explain away. How can Trump be falsified?
Well, I know a lot of people talk about him when he does that little inverted sign, with the hands down. They say, oh, and his building has that. But to me, that's an anti-Illuminati sign. It's called the tip of the spear. It's an anti-Illuminati. We saw Princess Di do it and JFK Jr. So, some people use that to say he's a Mason, whatever. I don't think so.
No, so let me ask the question because I usually ask each one of you questions at the end. That was kind of in line with mine. What would anything prove to you that he's not on the good side? Because it seems like no matter what he does, if it's recommend the vaccine or if it's tell everybody that he's going to arrest Hillary and then tell everybody after he's president that she's great. So is there anything that he could do that would make you go, okay, now he is part of the cabal?
See, again, I'd have to rely on my inner wisdom, that would have to be that. I'd have to know from inside like that. Like if I saw that, I would be true to that. And I would say, oh, wow, I was wrong. This guy is the Antichrist or, he's fooling.
So what though? Is there something you could see that would...
I can't really think of, I don't know. Well, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if he did, if I knew he was the bad guy, I would say it. I don't care about selling books or anything. You know what I mean? This whole thing, I was never even involved in any of this. Like I said, I was a Lib Dem hippie mom before God grabbed me by the back of the neck and said, come on, you got to do this. Gave me like a service for this. And so I really don't feel delusional because I research all the time. I put I pray in between and I ask, am I on the right track? Do you know what I mean? I don't just take it for granted. And I don't just trust, I could trust that he could be fooling me like anyone could be fooling me. So I keep going. But so far, I feel like, this is it. I got to, what does David Nino always says? I'm going to ride in on the horse I came in on or something. I just feel that way with Trump. We'll see what happens.
We've got John Kelley. Thank you for the $5. Says he seemed to be destined to bring in the jab, biblically speaking. He has a mortal wound, then comes back as the Antichrist. I don't know if that's really a question, more of a statement, I think.
Have any of you Tim Cohen? Tim Cohen did Antichrist in a Cup of Tea. He's done several videos. He's got all the receipts for Charles III being the Antichrist. It's really worth watching.
It's worth watching. It's great.
Prophecyhouse.com. Oh my God, he's got every single receipt. Charles does. He has every bloodline. He's the richest man in the world. He runs everything.
6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days after the Queen died was when he took office or took crown, whatever you call it, coronation.
Then I'll ask, why does Trump sit on the 66th floor of his hotel?
You know what else is interesting? I'm not sure about that. Again, these numbers, like Melissa Redpill, freedomforce.live. I don't know if you know her. She's done like 200 videos on Trump, and she said that 666 is something that is actually the number of man and not Satan. So, I mean, I don't know about that, but what I know, it's interesting about the thing is, again, like, I don't know, we just have to see what happens, how it plays out. I don't think any like symbolism, because we're beyond symbolism. I think they need to use symbolism. They do everything symbolically because they're much more religious than we are with their religion of Satanism, and they do it all with gematria and stuff. We don't need that stuff because we have God. We're beyond that. So, and a lot of that stuff we can also take back. You know, like a lot of the Christians don't want you to have Christmas. That's pagan. But wait a minute. If you're celebrating Christ's birthday, you can take that back and celebrate Christ's birthday. You don't have to be a pagan. You can still celebrate Christ on Christmas without, you know, all the drama.
So one thing that I'd point out about Christmas, kind of the way that I look at it, it seems like we were all lied to as children by the people that we trusted the most, and it seems like that could have an effect on how we just accept things and don't question them in our reality, because we all believe Santa Claus at one point in time until we all figured it out. So
that's funny. I never thought about that. You're saying like the fact that the schools didn't lie to you, your parents did, and so he's what you're saying. That's great. I never even thought about that direction.
Lying to you, right? Pollution and everything.
Now then we realize
you can justify it any way that you want. Oh, it's for the kids. It's for this. It's for that. You break it down simply. It was a lie that was presented to your children.
Roger, Tony Coriolis asks you, what do you think of Space Force? What's the Space Force plan?
I don't know too much about Space Force. Honestly, I'm sure another project to deceive people one way or another.
And my question for you would be, do you think it's going to be Biden who runs against Trump in 2024?
I don't.
Who will be on the ticket? I'll ask you both. Yeah, who will be on the ticket?
I kind of question if we make it to that point.
Okay.
But if I had to put names on a ticket, it seems like they're gonna run Trump, and then that Vivek seems to be saying a lot of things that people want to hear. So
I've heard Newsom might replace Biden, but we'll see. He would certainly be slimy enough, to be the Biden replacement.
But I also question, is Vivek just out here to kind of pull some strings on some people? Because they're going to put in whoever they want. You know, we can speculate all day.
We've got
it's always been selected.
DCRC, thank you very much for the $5 and being a member for 6 months. He says, Beth, do you think that Rothschild has no hold on Trump after bailing him out with bankruptcy via Wilbur Ross?
I don't think so, because I think, when he went around on that 2017 tour, he went around to all the top families in Venice, the Venetian, that's the law. We're under pirate law, maritime law. He went around to, all those people too. And the Rothschilds are selling all their property. These people have all, look what they did in Israel, buying Israel. And then they started Hamas in Israel in 1978, the Rothschilds. There's just so many lies, and the people are the ones that suffer. These people play the humanity against each other while they're being evil. So I think I see Trump being able to get through all this because of having the grace to do it, because of being called for this time to lead this charge against the Luciferians. I think he's got the grace, the stamina, the chutzpah to do it. So I'm just here as a cheerleader. And I think he's going to do it. I have no reason to, I have no reason to leave room for doubt, especially now, especially at this point. I'm not going to leave any room for doubt, because when you leave room for doubt, what comes in? Usually Satan, when you have doubt. And that's how I feel.
Okay. It looks like that is it that I can see. And
one other thing I wanted to say. Derek Johnson, I did a little, Derek Johnson, he's the one that has all the laws and orders, the executive orders. That's another good kind of proof about all this. He shows that Trump is commander in chief, and he has been running things since that fake Biden inauguration wasn't even real. Derek Johnson at Rattletrap 1776. He's really good.
Okay.
That's-
And thank you very much for the support, guys. Got all that. Looks good. I'm just making sure we don't have anything else there. Yep, we're good. I'm going to stay live on DLive just for a few minutes. I want to see if anybody goes over there. DLive.tv/Jeranism if you want, but I'm going to close down the rest of it. Thank you, everybody at YouTube. We'll go through and give you your final words and where people can support you and where they can find more of your stuff. Go ahead. You start, Beth. Go ahead, Beth. You go ahead first. So you just say go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, I just have my little site, thebethmaree.com. And I'm kicked off Twitter. I'm kind of kicked off most places. I'm on Telegram at lovejoytrump.com. Not very active. Facebook and Instagram as Elizabeth Skiffington. Because my family doesn't want me to talk too much. So I have to change my name. But yeah, and also if you have any of your people have, I book guests for David Nina Rodriguez. So if anyone has anybody they want to put on or they think are be good whistleblowers, please email me or text me and let me know because then I can help get them on. Because that's what I do basically. I've been doing that for the last few years and I really enjoy that because it kind of keeps me in the loop of what's going on.
Is he awake to the shape of the earth discussion?
He's had Dave on once or twice, I think.
Yeah. I think, David doesn't want to commit. He doesn't want to commit because a lot of
That's
people,
what, yeah.
they say it's a psyop, right? Like the flat earth. I don't believe it. I love it. I love the big blue earth. I asked I even asked my granddaughter, 5 years old. I said, how far away do you think the sun is? And she thought about it. She said, 12 miles. I said, you're probably closer than the ones that.
I'd go closer to 12 than 93 million for sure.
And then I said, do you think the earth is moving or still? And she said, still. It's like kids naturally kind of get it. So David just doesn't want to commit because so many people. You can't mix those two, right? The dome.
You lose a lot of
Pleiadians and stuff like that.
But it's all part of it, right? It's all part of that's. It's like you said.
There's probably an entry to the dome too, so the galactics can come in that way. And I've heard people say our next thing after we retrieve the Republic and the Earth, our next battle will be Antarctica. So I'm ready. Count me in.
Okay, let's do it. Let's find it out. Yeah, because I think that it's just another reason. If we can't trust our senses, right? We can't trust whether we're moving or not. We can't trust how far the sun that we can see in the sky is. Then therefore, we can't trust white hats. We can't. It just kind of makes you not trust anything. You can't trust yourself because we were wrong about it. We need science and media to tell us the truth. And then where you can find Roger, go ahead and give us your goodbye, and we'll head up.
TikTok 1024CR is where you can find me on there. On Telegram, same thing, 1024CR. And I think that's my name for my personal account on there too. So.
Oh, and I got a phone call right now, and I didn't get it, but it's a message. Let's hear who it's from.
Roger for a tremendous.
Hold on, who's this?
Thank you to Beth and Roger for a tremendous debate. That was really big league, and you both got it dead wrong because I, Donald J. Trump, am actually God himself.
Oh.
Believe me, China.
China. Josh Rosen, a great impersonator. Check him out.
Gotta keep laughing. Really.
Gotta laugh. If not, we'll be crying for sure. All right, guys, it's been fun. We will see you Friday for my show. Oh, no, we have tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got Stephen Dragon on at, let me find out. It's either 3 or 6. I think it's 3. 3 Pacific. If I'm wrong, it's 6 Pacific. We'll check out t.me/Jeranism show. That's where I update you on all the shows when they're going to be started. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Roger. We'd love to have you back anytime you want. It's been fun.
Very nice to meet you both.
I remind you guys, please do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Till next time, this has been Jeranism. Peace.
Amen.
Thanks, guys, very much.